Can women lead the church of the ego? The question isn't really about women. It never was. It's about what the ego's church believes leads anything. Because the church of the ego doesn't worship God. It worships hierarchy. It doesn't ordain love. It ordains authority. And in a hierarchy built on separation, someone must always be above, and someone must always be below. That's the real altar of the ego. Gender is just the curtain dressing the stage. In the Course it says that equality is not a concept the ego understands. The ego believes in differences because its very life depends on them. So when it builds a church, it builds it in its own image. One of ranking, ritual and role. Man above woman. Clergy above laity. Heaven above earth. It stacks everything vertically to maintain illusion. Because equality would collapse the whole tower. Equality is the ego's extinction. The ego's church is not a building. It's a thought system. A thought system that says worth can vary, that some are chosen and others are not. So when the question arises, can women lead the church? What's really being asked is this: can love lead illusion? Can truth lead a lie? Can the changeless lead what was built on change? The Course says the kingdom is perfectly united and perfectly protected, and the ego will not prevail against it. So in truth there is no gender in God's kingdom. There is only creation extending itself. But within the dream, within the ego's divided house, the male is made to symbolize dominion, the female to symbolize receptivity. These roles were carved not by God but by guilt. Projected form trying to make hierarchy divine. And yet, look closer. The Spirit speaks through the feminine principle constantly. Mary the Virgin symbolizes receptivity to truth. Mary Magdalene symbolizes forgiveness beyond shame. Eve symbolizes curiosity that exposes fear. And in the Course's language, the Holy Spirit itself is the bridge, neither masculine nor feminine. Described as he only because language itself cannot hold what is whole. So the divine feminine isn't missing, it's misinterpreted. It is the movement of yielding rather than asserting, of receiving rather than controlling. And that's the leadership that heals. The ego's leadership demands followers. Spirit's leadership creates equals. One says, obey me. The other says, remember with me. The ego wants sermons. Spirit wants silence. The ego points to the pulpit. Spirit points within. That's why the real answer to, can women lead the church, is this: only women can, if woman symbolizes the receptive mind, the one open to the voice for God. In truth, leadership belongs to whoever is led by love. The Course says that the teacher and the learner are the same. So no one leads except through example, and no one follows except through willingness. That's the holy reversal. And yet the ego trembles at this because it dismantles the entire premise of its church. In the church of the ego, God is a man, love is conditional, and salvation must be earned. But in truth, there is no gender in light. There is only oneness remembering itself through many forms. So, can women lead the church of the ego? Yes, but not by standing at its pulpit. They lead by dissolving the pulpit altogether. By refusing to mistake power for presence. By demonstrating that leadership is not direction, it's reflection. It's not who speaks louder. It's who listens deeper. And the ego cannot mimic that, because its church was built on control, not communion. In the end, this is not a feminist argument. It's a metaphysical one. The question isn't whether a woman can lead the church. It's whether any body can lead what was meant to be led by spirit. When the mind awakens, gender disappears. And in that holy silence, leadership becomes unnecessary. Because the one mind has no followers. It is whole. It is done. Rod Serling closing picture, if you will, a church without walls. No pews, no pulpits, no stained glass dividing heaven from earth. Just one light, unbroken, unnamed, unowned. Here, leadership is not a title but a state of remembrance. And in that remembrance, woman and man dissolve into one radiant truth. Love leads. Always has, always will.